We all know that guy that's so reactive that he's like a feather in the wind and he gets carried by the currents and the winds of this earth. That he can't seem to stand his own ground. He can't seem to have a stable footing in anything he believes in. And we don't want to be like that guy. We don't want to be like him. We want to be like the Stoics. I like to think of the Stoics as I say this all the time, as the most masculine men who have ever existed. The most masculine feature in nature, I believe, are mountains. Because despite the weather, despite how much wind is going, mountains remain unmoved. They remain firm in what they are. Mountains. So I think Stoicism is something that you have to adopt. You have to adopt the Stoic mindset if you want to become more masculine. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly step by step how to develop a Stoic mindset. So step 1, you must journal and have a quiet time every single day. The Stoics were extremely self-aware, and this came through constant self-discovery. And the only way you will discover yourself is if you give yourself time to think. You give yourself time to write down and to dive into topics like where you ask yourself, what am I scared of? You ask yourself those deep questions that you wouldn't ask yourself. It's because when you do this, when you ask yourself these deep questions, when you sit down to actually journal, you'll find out so much about yourself. You'll find out the things that you're scared of. And once you're aware of many of your problems, once you're aware of many of your downfalls, it will make defeating them much easier. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Those are the 3 people I think about when I'm thinking about Stoicism. I imagine these guys having quiet time every day where they were journaling time, where they would literally devote like an hour every day and just sit in their room, just looking, like this, because they probably all had beards. So just like sitting like this, thinking. And then when they'll get a good insight, they'll just be like, that's good. And then thinking, another insight. So if you want to develop a Stoic mindset, you have to develop a practice of journaling and a practice of quiet time where you just give yourself time to think. Step 2 is that you must devote yourself to honesty, both to the world and to yourself. In everything you do, you should act with integrity, with honesty, with authenticity. You cannot improve as a man if you're not honest with yourself, because if you aren't honest, you won't know the areas that you need to improve in. So more importantly, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be deathly honest to yourself, and may even hurt your feelings. But that is the way of a Stoic. That is the way of a superior man. Step 3, which is extremely important in this modern day, is that consume no Consume no short form content, only long form. The Stoics nourished their mind, they enriched their mindsets, their philosophy by reading great books. They weren't watching TikToks by like Conor McGregor. Like, no disrespect to Conor McGregor, he's an amazing guy. But they weren't watching random motivational TikToks. They would give themselves time to think, to dive into a book, spend hours reading. The Stoics read every single day. And they weren't reading short quotes, no, they were reading long form content that they had to sit and digest for long periods of time. Short form content is poison. Avoid poison. Short form content weakens your mind. Reject weakness. Step 4 is have an artistically realistic view of what things are. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius, there was a passage where he was just talking about how wine is literally just fermented grapes. How sex is just the rubbing of membranes. The practice of seeing things in an extremely realistic view will take certain things off their pedestal. It will make you see things for as they are. And when you see things as they are, that's how you can develop a Stoic mindset. That's how you can refrain from certain things. That's how you can get over your porn addiction, because what is porn? What are you doing when you're watching porn? Like, realistically, you're looking at pixelated women and you are rubbing yourself, you're stimulating yourself because you're looking at pixelated women. And the fact that I said that if you're still watching porn, you probably felt bad about yourself. And it's good because you're looking at it realistically. So now, when you look at things realistically, it makes it easier for you to abstain from them. It makes it easier for you to detach from them. Step 4 is be controlled by logic, not emotion. People always make the mistake that, Stoics, they don't have emotions. It's okay to feel your emotions. Yes, feel your emotions. You should always acknowledge your emotions. But you should never be controlled by those emotions. Be controlled by logic, not emotion. Step 5, be purpose-orientated. Find work that you find fulfilling. And if that's not possible, whatever work that you're doing now, devote all your attention to completing that work with your best effort, to the best of your ability. Direct the majority of your thoughts to that purpose on how you can do it better, how you can better fulfill your purpose. Because when you do this, you stop your mind from wandering. And I'm actually going to read a quote from As a Man Thinketh here. They who have no central purpose in their life fall an easy prey to petty worries, fears, troubles, and self-pityings, all of which are indications of weakness, which lead just as surely as deliberately planned sins to failure, unhappiness, and loss. For weakness cannot persist in a power-evolving universe. A man should conceive of a legitimate purpose in his heart and set out to accomplish it. He should make this purpose the centralizing point of his thoughts. Step 7 to developing a Stoic mindset is to have presence, to be present in all situations. So presence is built through meditation, and there are various types of meditation. Prayer, like meditation where you sit and only focus on your breath, breathing exercises, all of these things, they build presence. The ability to regain your focus, the ability to bring back a wandering mind. And why presence is so important is because Stoics believe that the present is the only moments that actually matters. Because realistically, what do you have besides the present? Because the past doesn't exist anymore. Can you feasibly say that the past exists? Can you latch onto the past and have it? All you can have about the past are fantasies, memories. The future doesn't exist. You don't know what will come in the future. All you have, and at every moment in your life, the only thing that you will ever have is the present moment. So you have to find a way to enjoy what you only have to the best of your ability. So that's by remaining present. That's by making sure that in every situation you're aware of what's going on. In every situation you're enjoying it as much as you possibly can. So as I've said before, this is built through meditation. So develop a constant meditation practice. And over here I have a video linked of how you can develop your meditation practice. Step 8 is whenever you're doing a task, give it your full attention. And the reason that step 7 was presence is because if you're not present, you will never be able to give a task your full attention. I want you to remember with all the tasks that you do is that input is more important than output. The efforts that you put in, the work you put in is more important than what you get out. Always find your satisfaction in how well you did a task rather than the outcome that you got from it. Because outcomes, you can't control your outcome. Yes, well, you can control your outcome, but you can't control it 100%. But you can fully control your input. You can fully control how much effort you put in. So make sure that you value input over output. Step 9 is negative visualizations. So by negative visualizations, I mean death. Last time visualizations. When you visualize death, people think that thinking about death is bad, but when you think about death, it makes you aware that one day you die. One day you're no longer going to be here. So it makes you enjoy things more. It makes you act as if you're going to die. The best thing that you can do is act as if you're a dying man. Because when you act as if you're a dying man, that is when you truly enjoy things. That is when you are fully present. Because every act may be your last. So before I said last time visualizations, let's say when you're doing the dishes, when you're writing a script for your YouTube video, keep in mind that it may be the last time that you do that. It may be the last time that you ever get to do that activity. So do it with gratitude. Do it with sincere focus. Another negative visualization is something I call like zooming out meditation. So essentially when you do this, it's like you're zooming out and you're seeing the world from like a bird's eye view. So when you see the world from a bird's eye view, you see that like all these houses look identical. All these people are just dots on the earth. So it makes you realize that your problems aren't as big as you think they are. And it equips you to tackle them better because you don't think they're as big. Step 10 to developing a Stoic mindset is you must be physically strong. A strong body creates a strong mind. People, nowadays, philosophers are those university professors with black turtlenecks and they're skinny walking around with, designer shoes. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, these guys were strong men. These guys were warriors, emperors. They weren't weak men with turtlenecks like saying, philosophy is this. No, they were strong men. So to develop a Stoic mindset, you have to develop the body of a Stoic. And the body of a Stoic is a body of strength. And the 11th step of developing a Stoic mindset is to have a constant growth attitude. So in short, always see how you can grow. Always see how you can perform things better. So a nice practice to have is that at the end of every day, ask yourself, what could I have done better? And what can I do better tomorrow? Because when you constantly do this, let's say you get 1% better. If you get 1% better every day for 365 days, I think you get 37 times better. So now imagine that every year you get 37 times better. Always look for ways in which you can better yourself. Look for ways where you can make things more efficient. Because that's another common thing I found in successful people. They're always finding ways to do things better. They're not striving to be the best. They're striving to always do things better. Because if you always strive to do things better, you will eventually become the best. And when you are the best, you'll be striving to do things better and you become untouchable. So boys, I hope I've provided you with massive value here on how you can be more stoic, how you can develop that stoic mindset, and you too can become a mountain. Now stop watching this video and go journal. Go have a quiet time where you can dive down, where you can be introspective.